fluidity and water. We come in by water and we go out by water, and water always wins. Come
And so
in
when I think
by
of the
water,
hangman,
I think of like Neptune is that watery dream, and so it's the imagination, it's the allowing things to flow through you, and then allowing the creativity to channel it. And then with Saturn really close by is that you're able to capture it and put it to work for you.
How would you? What about the star?
Which one?
Wait, the star is Pisces, ain't it?
Oh, Pisces, the dream.
So so that's what I said.
It could be your worst nightmare, or it could be your greatest dream. It depends on what you're projecting out there.
that's what I was saying to you. So that's what I was asking you. The hangman and the empress sitting together in the land of.
On the North Node.
Well, I ain't add that part yet. Stay with me now.
Okay.
I'm just want you to think about the hangman. What the empress and the hangman hanging out with each other.
See, you're also, I think, with the hangman is that you're pulling from
Wait,
the heavens. And
wait,
bringing
wait,
it.
wait. The moon, the star is Aquarius. The moon is Pisces. So I forgot. So we got. Think about a female or two lovers. One got the Empress energy. One got the Hangman energy, and they hanging out. They went to Club Moon.
Club Moon.
Yeah, the Moon card. The Moon card is a club or something. An island. The Moon card is an island, and you got the Hangman and the Empress hanging out on the island of the Moon. What's going on there?
The moon. Well, I mean, you have like psychic on steroids here, and I mean intuition, psychic ability, or your worst nightmare, depending on where your dreams are at.
Ooh. What do you mean by or your worst nightmare?
Because if you think about the people that have the Eeyore complex or something like that, and they're always visualizing something horrible happening. They're the ones that always go to the worst case scenario. And I believe that we are the creators of our reality, and right now we're going to be able to create that on steroids. If that dream is the beautiful dream, the aspirations, the being able to pull from the heavens and pull it down to this reality and to make it a real, because Venus is the one that creates, the Empress, the growth, and she brings it to the earth, what you love, what you draw towards you. The hangman is from the heavens and then bringing it to the earth again through the water and letting go and allowing it to flow through you. And then with the moon is intuition and reflective, and you're going to reflect that, whatever your dream is, whatever that creation that you're going to create. And there are some people in their mindset, it's quite frightening. I mean, come on. And then you have the people that dream the great dreams and build the great, that are able to see miracles, to have that within their heart, that to just see the beauty all around them, and then be able to pull that dream and to create it on this plane of existence. So it can go both ways.
Would you like to add another layer?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I said the Empress and the Hangman are hanging out together on island Moon, right?
Okay. Moon Island.
Moon Island, yeah. But you know what they're dealing with? They have to
What
deal with something on Moon Island.
you said.
But you know what they did?
The Ten of Cups.
This meeting is happening in the Ten of Cups.
That's a beautiful card.
This meeting is happening in the Ten of Cups. So, how would you add what you said? How would you add this layer?
It's an end of the cycle, water, and a happy family, a happy, a completion, someone who has lived a good life that emotionally has, just everything that their completion of a complete dream, family, hearth, home, completely fulfilled. Or if it's flipped, it could be dystopia.
What would a version of you said it could be intuition and psychic world on steroids, or lost in a world a delusional dream? What would that look like if it was upside down and he lost in a delusional dream?
What's that one Conception? What's that movie? Where he goes to save his wife who had died and committed suicide, and then she goes into that dream state. You could have like the seven levels, the inferno of Dante. I mean, it could be the dream, the nightmare of hell. People are gonna, some people think the world is coming to an end, and they're creating that in their own world, in their own psyche.
Would you say, could that be someone lost in the world of conspiracy theories?
Could be. I really sincerely believe that we are the creators of our own reality, and you believe that too. Let's say that is what you're drawing towards you. That's all you're going to see. That is the vibrational frequency that you're going to live by.
Ooh, wait. You said that's the vibrational energy that you're going to live by?
You're going to live in, yes.
Live in? So, wait. Hold up. Because you asked me another question. Now it's time for you to throw this extra layer on top of that. Because you just said the energy that we live by. All of this is going on with the North Node playing in the hand. And what's the North Node about?
The North Node is where the energy is focused, where we're being drawn to.
So,
the North.
How would you add that to what you said?
I believe that's the frequency that you're going to be living by for quite some time, by the frequency that you set right now. With that, touching that energy. I mean, how long does that portal last? It's a long cycle.
Well, the North Node is going to be traveling through the sign of Pisces for 18 months. And this is where the eclipses will be happening, bouncing back and forth for the next 18 months.
Doesn't it last for like 18 years or something like that?
Well,
18 months, but we have it. So it doesn't enter into Pisces again, and so whatever the frequency.
It doesn't. It doesn't go back into Pisces till like 18 years. Yeah, but 9 years from now, the nodes will be flipped. So it'll be going through the South Node will be going through Pisces, and the North Node will be in Virgo, which would be the opposition of said energy that we're speaking of today. So with the North Node being what our soul, would you say it's what our soul came here to stretch toward or grow toward?
I believe that all of the spiritual people that are on the planet today, that this is our greatest opportunity.
Yeah, I'm saying, but the North Node in your chart, that points to where your soul is trying to.
Yes.
All right, so on a soul level, if you add this soul level energy of where you're supposed to be going to this moon energy, to this Empress energy, to the Hangman energy, to this Ten of Cups energy, what you got?
And also the World card.
Well,
Saturn. Because it's not cheap.
all right, if you want to throw that in, but I was just talking about the three entities that's right on top of each other, which is Venus, Neptune, and North Node, 27, 27, 28 this weekend. Now, you are correct. Saturn is in the mix, but he kind of like over there in arm's distance, watching.
But he's also in Pisces.
Yes, yeah, he's over there in Pisces, eating popcorn like, ooh, this is about to get juicy.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna capture this energy, put it to work.
I wonder how they're gonna get out of this. Because the Empress, think about it, Empress gonna go into Aries. And then wait, hold up. And then it's gonna come back and go all the way back and have another two conversations. It already had a conversation with Saturn. It's gonna go into Aries. It's having this meeting. It's gonna go into Aries, and then it's gonna come back and hit Saturn again. And when it get to Saturn, what do you think Saturn is gonna say? Hey, didn't I tell you? And then Venus is gonna go direct, and it's gonna hit Saturn again before going out the door. Before it go have that. So you think Saturn is gonna say something to the Empress before it go have that third meeting with Neptune and the North Node before it goes into detriment again in Aries? Because Venus doesn't like Aries.
I know she does.
So hey, ooh, you talking about illusions, delusions, and all that? Could it be? Hey, let me show you what your where you go. Dreams. Are your dreams reality based?
True. I think there's going to be a lot of illusions out there, and with also Neptune. But that's where you got to be careful too, not making any quick decisions, and but allowing the dreams to come to you. Too, because a lot of people, right now, you think I might need to move, or I want to go, I want to do this, I want to do that, but sometimes you need to really calculate it before you do it.
Oh, like when I just asked you, hey, you ready to move to Mexico?
I told you I'm coming back.
The question was, you ready to move?
You told me I was going to move when you looked at my chart.
I never said to Mexico.
No, you never did. You didn't say anywhere. Just move.
No, I asked if you had the thought of moving.
And I do. I really do. Where I live now is I feel that all the doors have kind of shut, and I go there. I'm creative there. I'm able to create a lot of things there, but I'm more like the hermit now, and I really feel that it is time for me to move. But this is a place that I've lived since I was 2 years old, and that's been over 50 plus years. Pulling stakes and moving. But I've been pulling stakes and moving all last year. So I've been used to going from one town to the next state, to the next,
Oh, with your shows?
Yeah. Just set up, make it home, and then within a couple days, moving on. It's kind of given me a little bit of, it's okay to let go and to move on.
It is? Do you remember what personal year I told you was on?
What now?
Personal year. Do you remember?
I think it was 59.
No. When's your birthday?
November 19th,
November
1965.
19th, mental. So what would that be? You remember your life path number?
6.
Mm.
But it's changing. I think it changed. It went to 7, I want to think. I'm not sure.
11-9. That's your birthday?
It's, yeah, 11/19.
11-19. 11-19. Mental.
5. It's 12/25. You get the numbers, so it's like 3, but then added up it's 6.
Mm.
Done it a few times. So it's the number of help, the helper.
Yeah, you're on a personal year too. I don't know what that. I can't remember offhand what that's about.
I can't remember.
I know 3 is a year learning. I think.
I think when we did it, it went to like 7 or 9. It was the year of travel or something like that, or self.
You might have been having that might have been a peak that you had to embrace, like the 7 energy or something like that. I don't remember offhand. I don't, but yeah. What's the 2 year about, man?
The what now?
Oh, is you on the 3 year? He said you on the 3 year, so a 3 year is about learning.
I'm learning. I'm learning a new dance step. I'm learning Zentangle, and everyone should do it. I've been working at it pretty hard here. I got a lot of I've been down here creating the Buddha. Every picture that I've been doing has been the Buddha, and realized that Buddha, I think on the one that wrote autobiography of a yogi. He's the one that came here in the 1920s, and he said that this was going to be.
He went where you at now?
Yes. But I didn't know that. When I came down here, I just kept on drawing the Buddha. I mean, it was just. I have it right here. Grab my sketch pad, and I've just been drawing him.
It's a good drawing.
That's 2. Like I said, I've just been channeling the Buddha for some reason, and this is the other one that the connection of the male and female energy. I'm just sitting in the pool, just creating.
He says a mind expansive year is the theme. Mind expansive year is the theme. So if your mind, if it's about mind, if your year is about mind expansion, why do you think you've been sitting up there drawing the Buddha?
Higher consciousness. And I've been trying to balance out the male and female energy, because the squiggle lines are feminine energy and the straight lines are male energy, and I find myself just trying to fuse both of them to balance them out.
Which one are you struggling with? Masculine or feminine?
I think the masculine right now is because my right arm is weakened, and I'm having problems with me. My last show, because of last year, it is caused. I don't know if I had nerve damage or what, but I'm very weak in that area now. It used to be my strongest, and now I'm struggling with it. Now it's harder for me to wire wrap, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen, with my shows. So I'm just picking up a pen and working with the pen now. It's lighter, and I don't have to put.
Well, it's hard on your shoulder to do the wire work.
No, kind of like carpal tunnel, I think you'd call it, in my wrist and in my elbow, like tennis elbow, in my right arm, and that's the one that I use predominantly to create things. And I'm having problems with it right now. And I thought resting it for a couple months would be beneficial, and I still am having the problems with it.
Shoot, Kelly just had to get surgery on her thumb because of some I think because of something similar like that. And she crochets too. She crochets.
Well, it's like the male energy just in my reality is something that I'm struggling with. I think too that I was in the relationship that I was in for so long that it was very abusive male energy that was that I was dealing with. And but in my chart I have more feminine energy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, only thing that came to mind is you are a Scorpio. You still struggle to let go of shit, huh?
Always.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Scorpio sun, the Scorpio moon to Scorpio sun.
but I came in on the year of the snake, so I got to shed that skin. I think with my husband, I'm okay with that, and my childhood friend, I'm okay with that. It was the spiritual center that really hurt me emotionally, because those were the ones I thought were my friends and that would help me. That was my support system, and I don't have that now. But it also loosened me up to be able to leave.
I was right about to say, do you think your support system had to crumble for you to get the fuck up out of there?
Yeah, I really do. With that, I would still be there with my nose to the grind and create.
Do you do yoga?
Yes.
You do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tam said something down there to you.
Yes, I do yoga, and I do the stretches, but my arm right now doesn't support me to hold my weight, so I do the stretches, but I can't do the poses that I once were able to do. I can do floor yoga, chair yoga.
Wait, how old are you?
59.
Do you think you're aging gracefully?
Of course. It's a mindset. But yeah, I do.
As in, are you struggling with not being able to do it how you used to be able to do it? As hard as you used to do it. Go hard.
Absolutely.
Go hard or go home.
Well, I was a workhorse.
Well, wait. Didn't I say if I'm in your progress moon, progress sun in Capricorn?
Yes, it's the two pentacles, right?
Oh. And with Capricorn, don't they have to learn a healthy work-home balance?
Yeah, they do.
Uh, do you think?
Do I look like that old?
Do you think after this month-long vacation, by the time you get back, you may feel a little bit more energized?
I do, but I will have to be wise too, and put my energy where I want it to go and what I want it to do. I think I need to go home and let go of a lot of things.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, all right. Do you think you need to be at a show every weekend?
no,
Should you go maybe every other weekend?
I'm only cherry picking this year. I am cherry picking, and I'm probably going to do maybe 2 shows or 1 show a month. Cherry picking. But I did go every weekend last year, and I overdid it. Absolutely.
That's what I meant by aging gracefully.
Yes.
Do you think
And
scaling back would be a form of you aging gracefully?
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is, if the show isn't fun, I don't want to do it. And if you're there like 15 hours a day, that to me after a while is not
So,
fun.
Gunny, if you did 15 hours a day, what?
15 hours a day in the tent. And especially if it's like 90 degrees or, pushing up to 100, that's no fun.
Well,
I mean, I want to.
the great Snoop Doggy Dogg has a song that says, "You know it ain't fun unless the homies can have some."
Well,
So, so, sitting down in the tent 15 hours a day for a whole weekend by yourself, strangers coming in, no partner with you or nothing, it could get a little taxing, I could see.
That sucks. Yes.
Although connecting with the people and doing what you do is great.
To a point. And also, this is a really, astrologically speaking, when you go to the shows, you get to see the psychosis of people with the energy that's attached to it.
You said psychosis?
Well, you see their mindset, you see their interaction with you.
You know what? Aren't you aren't you a Virgo rising?
Yes, of course.
And you just talked about the psychosis of people at the show. Because the reason I'm bringing this up, because all the things you just said and talked about the Venus, Empress, and the Hangman, and the Moon card, all that's happening in your 7th house of relationships.
Oh, yes, it is. Ooh. Huh.
Any thoughts? What come to mind now?
Well,
By the way, you are still dealing with your Saturn return. Hey, by the way, you keep wanting to bring Saturn in this. Now, go ahead and bring Saturn in this now. Since you're still dealing with your Saturn return. You ain't done with it yet. So, what do you think this North Node meeting Venus, meeting Neptune in the sign of Pisces with the World card in your 7th house of relationships? What say you?
I don't think I'm going to be a hermit. I think that place for me to move down here to Mexico because, the relationships here with people are amazing. And the psychic, and it's like a paradise. But for me in Saturn return, I really believe that it's a whole remaking of my connection with the people and balance, and I just feel that that I'm being remade. Like I'm coming from a worm going to a butterfly. And what dream do I want to dream? And what do I want to create? And how do I want to express it with the collective? Saturn, put it to work.
You said Saturn do what?
Put it to work. How do I want it to work?
Do you have an answer?
I'm coming at it from, I don't want to work harder anymore. And I want to create things that, the energies that I feel around me, like the Buddha. And I want to connect with people to create things for, that have meaning to me, that I feel is part of what the energy field that we're going through, and to be able to give it to people. And that's with now it's probably with a pen and ink than with wire and rock and charms. I think that my days of that might be numbered. Because because if my right arm is working really well, I don't think I would ever give it up. And with relationships, like love relationships, I'm not quite sure how that would even look. I'm online, man, I'll tell you, there's some doozies out there. Met a guy from the Antarctica holding a puppy, no doubt. And there was another one, what was it? 5-star general. There's only 44 of them in the world, but, I met one online on the dating site. Then I met this guy on an oil rig. Yippee. Well, he wasn't on an oil rig. He lived close to me until 3 weeks out on an oil rig. And, there is so much scamming out there. It's unbelievable.
Wait, I have a question.
You have a question.
The way you said it, you was like, he had a puppy. Like, how dare he have a puppy?
I'm straight. It's like, look at me as a puppy, man. I'm on the Antarctica.
So wait. So what did him having a puppy have to do with it?
Oh, okay. Hey, reminds me of a guy standing next to a skeevy man and says, "Hey, little girl, you want a piece of candy? You want to pet my puppy? Would you like a ride in my van?" That sort of thing.
So you looked at the puppy, even the puppy threw a mixed signal.
Of course. Well, of course, you see on the day.
Wait. So wait, hold up. I asked you. I said, hey, all of this is showing up in your 7th house of relationships. Now think about what you're saying, right? What am I hearing? You trying to decipher through all the smoke and mirrors of what people putting up to see the authenticity.
See through the illusions. Yes.
On a bigger plane, do you think that's what has been in your Saturn return really truly about?
You're probably right. Is seeing through the illusions and seeing what is authentic and what isn't authentic, and to be able to not give my power or my energy to that which no longer serves the highest and greatest good. Absolutely.
Was your husband authentic?
No.
How about your friend?
No.
How about the support center?
Who?
The center that you worked at.
When I was there and I was I was a vice president. The people say that was the golden years that was there, and then when I left, they feel it's more control mechanisms now, which is I told them it was going to go that direction, but people follow leaders, they don't follow their own intuition, unfortunately, when you get into groups. And I could no longer sustain the energy because the energy had switched. But I told them what was going to happen and how it wasn't a good idea because it was legalism.
Legalism? What's
Legalism's
that?
A buzz killer.
What's legalism?
Legalism is where you, big I, little u, when you get into a group, it's people follow the leader and they make rules after rules after rules, and they kind of put you in a box and put you in a corner, so you're basically in a straitjacket. You can't move even if you wanted to. And what you want to do and how you want to go, there's no freedom to do so. Legalism is a killer in any organization because they don't allow people to be authentically themselves. They are full of judgment and criticizing and control, and so people second guess themselves. It's outsourcing your power, and when you outsource your power, it's like you're not emulating from within, it's being imposed upon. And that's why it's such a killer to the soul, basically. And I was in a cult for 16 and a half years. And I was born and raised in a very controlling religious mechanism. Myself, went to boarding schools. And so I understand the mechanisms of those. And so when I see legalism creep in and it comes in, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. That kind of mentality. And in reality, they're there to put a straitjacket and to hold you in place and to basically feed off of your energy instead of your energy be fed by the organization that you go to. You become the battery for their existence. It's and we see this on many different levels in everything.
That's what the movie The Matrix is about.
True. Absolutely true. And everyone has to be in their little pod, and everyone has to be, hooked up in their own, delusions of reality that is not feeding their soul, but being parasited upon.
Well, this new moon in Aquarius that just passed, that's what I was talking about, from bondage to liberation, freedom, from bondage to freedom, freeing yourself from said situation. But to free yourself, you got to realize you are in a delusional state. Hey, my energy is, you got to figure out, I'm in the trap. Before you try to get out the trap, you got to figure out I am trapped.
I've been there. I've been in the trap. And it's not easy to get out of it. It's like a crab trap. It's easy to get in. You can climb in and you fall in, but you can't. It's harder and harder to get out. And that's why it's really important that you don't get in it, that you see the trap.
And people, as you try to get out, people try to hold you in place.
When I got out of the cult that I was in, they tried to take my children. Yeah, I know a lot about that. That's why when I seen it coming, I called it out immediately. They tried to turn my children against me. They started a school. They trapped the minds of my children. I stayed in in that relationship. I left the organization. However, I could not, my kids' mind was trapped. And so the only thing that I could do at that time was time. Because time is always your friend. And when you have young, malleable minds, I would just be the voice of reason and teach them critical thinking skills, to teach them how to decipher, the energy that was coming towards them, and give them the tools and allow them as teenagers, and teenagers are rebellious, they were able to see through the illusion. And at this time, I got every one of my children out of that control mechanism. But it wasn't an easy thing, and it took years. So when you're dealing with a cult, the best thing you could do is avoid it. But at the time, my children were, when I went to the organization, I had my children, and I was in it for 16 and a half years. So my kids were, preteens at the time that I left the organization. Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you.
What?
How willing are you to join a group now?
Not that willing, but I will be friends. Be friends with many, but married to none, okay? I don't mind being friends, but not join. I don't want to join anything. I don't want to. My days of volunteer services are over.
What's up, Cajun woman? How you doing?
Yeah, Sonny. Damn.
Your volunteer days are over?
My volunteer days of organizations are over.
So does that mean that somebody was willing to pay you to join the organization?
Run that past me again.
If somebody comes with a check and say, "Hey, come join my organization," that means you'll join?
No.
Well, you said your days of volunteering is over. That means, but you left yourself open for,
Okay, let's put it like, I don't want to pet your puppy, I don't want a piece of candy, and I don't want to ride in your van. No, I would not join an organization that would pay me. No. Unless I started the organization.
Cajun woman, you and her are in the same spot in life right now. With y'all at both are at y'all's second fork in the road. Yes. So, and it has something to. Let me ask you this: do you think, because your Saturn's in Pisces, do you have an issue with beliefs?
Me?
Not an issue. Issue might be the wrong adjective, but do you have a lifetime of battling or trying to figure out beliefs?
Well, my belief system today is if two people are thinking exactly alike, one of them isn't thinking. Okay? And there is, 8 billion people on this planet. There should be 8 billion different belief systems because we live in a fractal reality where every one of us see from a different perspective of reality. So I am comfortable with how I perceive reality. And I'm constantly working on myself, but I don't have to work on anybody else.
It's interesting that you just said that. Because I just put our video out yesterday. 11/11, shout out to the universe.
Oh.
What's your brief evaluation? What's more important to you, the people you love or your personal freedom? Do you love your loved ones so much that you will remain in bondage, or do you love yourself so much that you will free yourself and leave your loved ones stuck in bondage? Now, ain't nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm about to go to freedom. Do you want to come? But if they don't come, what is your responsibility to their happiness and freedom? Or is it just your responsibility to yourself for your happiness and freedom? And if they want to come along for the ride, hey, we can make a party of this. There's no right or wrong. It's a personal choice.
What you think about what I said right there?
I think that I agree with that. And I do. I think that to force someone or to, try to compel someone to your belief system, they have a journey. Now, I could explain what I perceive reality, and I could tell people what I see or how my perception of it is. However, I'm not responsible for anybody else's response. I'm only responsible for my own. And my own spiritual walk, my own spiritual perceptions, and my own spiritual development.
Was you did you always think this way?
No, of course not. I was in a cult. I had to save the world. I mean, hell, man. It was like, not only that, you were terrified that if you didn't, there were a lot of, trying to procreate that mindset was quite, daunting. That's what a cult is that they are parasites to the mind. And they put you in perimeters, and then, you have to believe a certain belief system or a certain...
Wait. You didn't use the word believe, did you?
Yes, of course I did.
Well, when you believe... Never mind.
I just want you to know, I have lived in the prison of thought crimes. I have been, yeah.
No, well, it's like an inside joke. Taz down there, every time somebody said believe, he used to have a speech that he would give. When you believe, that means you you believe in the lie.
You believe in a lie.
Yeah, if you look at believe, how it's spelled.
You believe a lie, yeah. Okay. Well, but isn't, perception of reality always changing? As the days change and
No, not at. So you trying to tell me people always changing their perspectives, or would you say it's rare that people change their perspectives?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I know. I'm asking you. I know what I'm asking you that question. What do you think?
I know from studying cults and mind control and manipulation and things that I went through, because I studied mind control. I studied MK Ultra. I've studied Project Paperclip, Project Naomi, all that, trauma-based mind control because of my children, because, being trapped in that organization. I know that
Hey, Rafiki, remember that library I showed you I got? That's where I got it from.
that mindset that we have is a program, and we have to step out of the program and be fluid to see reality and to be in the here and now, because right here, right now, this is truth, and to be able to see truth is to have a clear perception of reality that you are living in. And so I, like when I told you I seen this man elevate and lift off the ground like a balloon, you would see like a helium balloon lifted 2 inches off the pavement. Now people say I don't believe that. Well, I seen it with my own eyes. I perceived it in my own reality, and so that is truth to me. Because I perceived it. I was there. I watched it happen. So I believed it. Now, if I'm telling you, Paul, you may not believe me. Did it twice, but because you weren't there, you didn't see it. It's not part of your reality. It's not something that you have experienced. So when my belief system that I want to have for me is my experiences, my perception of true reality as my fractal reality as I see it, that to me is what I believe. It's not imposed upon me from 2,000 years ago, or a person that supposedly was here, or someone that said that they seen somebody walk on water or whatever. I didn't see that, but I'm telling you what I perceive reality is what I have witnessed through my own sensory perceptions.
I like to bring things full circle. You know what rules the five senses?
Oh, there she is.
Right on back. I like to bring things full circle, right? So we right back to the Empress.
So we're going to see things that we've never seen before and experience things we've never seen with what Neptune, and if you believe it, you can see it. I think we're in the age of miracles right now. Something that is different than what we perceive, the laws of physics to be. They may be bent. Yeah, expect the unexpected. You're right, Cam. Absolutely.
Well, you kind of took it in a different direction than what I had. But I'm not, I like what you said. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Now, how would you put this, when it comes to relationships?
Bringing it around. Huh?
Yeah. All right. So to get this, astrology and all this stuff, tarot, to really when you break it all down, you know what it is? Keywords,
but what's an archetype of picture, archetype of us to see the frequencies of the realities in which we live in is the tarot.
Yeah, but I said to understand it, it's keywords. The archetype is keywords.
Okay.
Right? And so I like to isolate words before I put them together.
Okay.
All right? So when we go with Venus, what's Venus? Venus is it's a feminine planet. It rules Libra and Taurus. Venus is about Venus. Since it's feminine, feminine does what? Attract. Masculine goes out. Feminine energy. Huh?
Electricity and magnetism.
There you go. So Venus is our capacity to attract love, what we love, who we love, and what we value. All right. Venus is about, like I said, it rules the five senses. It's about art, beauty, harmonizing. It's about balance. It's about relationships, beauty, refine. But Venus can also be self-indulgent, vain, and lazy, and over.
We'll cut through anything to get what you want.
Over sensuous, right? Now, that's Venus. What is Neptune? Neptune is the mystic. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the hangman in your deck, in your tarot deck. Neptune is about transcendence, transcending yourself to connect with a greater whole.
Neptune.
Yes.
Also crucified on the tree, because he's crucified on the tree, and he's, his feet are in the heavens, and yes, and his you can see his around his mind is that he's heavenly thought, and he is there hanging, bringing that from above down to the earth. It's the dream state, but it's also manifesting dreams.
Wasn't there an apostle who was hung upside down? Crucified upside down? Was that John? Was that, yeah. It was one of them.
They did that in the canon. I believe it was John or Paul. No, it was John. John died on the Isle of Patmos, supposedly. So it had to be Paul.
Yeah, so
Possibly. Could have been one of them. But
shout out to one of the apostles. Hangman.
That is a story.
Right. Neptune's also about merging with something greater than you. And I just asked you about being part of a group.
Well, it could be on the higher frequency of being with there's a split in the collective. And you see that with the age of Aquarius. And you have the higher frequency and you have the lower frequency, the two airs, the two squiggles. And so would that be part of the whole, being part of the collective that is a higher frequency? Because, haven't you had those moments where you go to the grocery store or you go out and have coffee and you have that connection?
You just talked about a coffee store. You know what I got on here? Neptune Island. Yeah, I got somebody who talks about island. What would be going on Neptune Island? Neptune Island is about intuition, idealism,
Dreams.
psychic energy, healing.
It's the connection of the water and the earth.
But you know what else could be going on Neptune Island?
What?
A bunch of escapism, a bunch of confusion,
Bunch of drugs.
a bunch of, yes. Neptune is the mystic, the dreamer, the poet, the seer,
The escape artist.
the visionary, or the addict, the lost soul, the helpless one, or even the space cadet. Now think about what I said. What we love, what you value, what you attract. Hanging out with the mystic. Are you hanging out with a mystic or are you hanging out with a crackhead?
I just seen someone elevate. So, I'm going on a higher frequency here, Paul.
Huh?
I said I just seen someone elevate. I think I'm going with the higher frequency.
You know,
you start attracting it, and you'll know. I mean, I've worked in shows, and I've had some people come work for me before, and people come up to my table, and these people are talking to them, and they're talking a strange language that I did not know, and I'm pretty well versed in the English language. But what they were talking about was drugs, and I did not have vocabulary for that. But a likeness attracts a likeness, and I seen that. And then I had to, say, well, this ain't working out for me. Because I didn't feel comfortable with that. And, but I watched it happen, and I watched the people being attracted to them. They came right up to them. They're dressed like everybody else. They look like everybody else. And then they come up and they have this language that they're able to say, and the people that speak that language show up, just like us. All of us here, Tam and Sunny and you, Paul. I mean, we speak a language that very few people know. Of course, I don't understand why they don't know it, because I know the language. It's astrology. And so when we get together, we start talking astrology. A lot of people do not know that language.
Well, Carrie, you don't know this, but what you're saying is actually why I started the podcast, because I felt like I was on the planet of the apes. I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I just started talking into a microphone about astrology. Hey, hopefully somebody pick it up and hear it.
Right, yeah, right. We all showed up.
Yeah, so with that being said, now we take the next step. You know how we just ran through some key things with Venus, and we ran through the key things with Neptune, key words. Now I take the next step, Carrie. I put these words together. Like, Neptune is visionary, right? And Venus is beauty. Venus is beauty. So, Carrie, what would visionary beauty be?
To me?
Yeah.
Visionary beauty, art, Buddha. Art.
All right. How about?
Just basically putting something beautiful together and creating it out of nothing, out of a blank piece of paper. To me, okay, that's my definition of it's my expression of what I've been expressing lately. So, and I've been just drawing the Buddha and doing Zentangle and learning a whole different art process. But it's like creating something out of nothing and bringing it to this plane of existence that you find beautiful and that you find spiritually of value to you.
Correct. Nah. Think about it in terms of relationships.
Then gifting that gift to people around you, which I've been doing. I've been like pulling my, piece of paper and I draw it and then I just hand it off to somebody.
All right. But what about relationships based on the looks of beauty? Through the lens of beauty.
I think the lens of beauty to me in relationships is people that are spiritually in tune. To me, I find beautiful.
Wait. I had to you.
To me, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but is that what you see when you look at people doing relationships? Not if you take it off of you.
Are we talking romantic relationship or just relationship in general? Clarify.
Both. You go with both.
Okay.
Is there a difference?
here that I've connected with, and we've exchanged numbers. And to me, they're just beautiful souls. I mean, just absolutely beautiful souls. And there's mostly women.
Wait. Were they visually appealing, looking wise?
I didn't look at them like visually. I looked at their soul, and
Wait. How many people do you think look at beauty on a soul level? Do you think people look at beauty as on a soul level? That's how people judge people?
They should.
That ain't what I'm asking you. I'm asking you when you look at when you talking to these people and dealing with people in relationships, not you. I'm talking about people you deal with, and watch, and all that.
Some people look at people and what can I get out of them? They're not seeing their beauty, they're not seeing their charm. All they're seeing is what is their assets and what can I obtain from them. And this is going on quite frequent. I think it's on steroids right now.
Wait, hold up. This ain't the second. This is the second time you mentioned steroids, and we still in this same energy. So I'm glad you're going there.
Steroids, you know that. The energy is very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I reframe that question, Paul. So reframe on relationship. I feel the connections to people right here, right now, is more of a spiritual aspect for me. I'm attracted to the spiritual aspect of it.
All right. I got it, and I understand that's what you are, and I understand that. And then I was asking you, now take it off of you. When you look at society, what do you see?
Well, my perspective.
Do you see the negative aspect of Venus, Neptune, when it comes to visionary beauty?
I see it like, okay, let's take, okay.
I got a question. Are we living in a society? I got it. Are we living in a society that judges a book by the visual beauty on the outside?
Absolutely. When you got the people that are, looking at somebody, you have the runway models, you have the different things where they look at somebody and they evaluate them by looks. But that's not part of my world, Paul. I
know. Carrie, we talking to a bunch of people. I ain't just talking to you. But I'm getting you to talk about relationships to a bunch of other people other than me. I'm trying to get you to paint a picture so others can see.
So what I see right now, let's use the internet dating site.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Take Venus and invert her, turn her upside down. So they're basically using love to manipulate, to get resources, to say, yes, we love you. They're painting a dream. I had this last week, so I'm really, this is a guy on an oil rig. Yeah. I felt it coming, so I seen it. But, telling you all these flowery words, you're beautiful, I love you. And then, painting a dream, we're going to get together, we could travel the world, blah, blah, blah. And then, I'm on an oil rig, I can't pay for my daughter's schooling, could you, I'm having a problem with my banking, could you, send $1,000 to my daughter? Or something like that. See, this is Venus upside down. This is using love, using manipulation, using the carnal desires, and trying to hook you in, and then painting a dream, and then trying to use it as bait to expunge resources out of you.
Do you think that this is, by the way, you remember this card?
Upside down. Yeah, no happy home there.
So with this,
I'm not a good target. I'm just observer.
and that's what I'm really asking you. What are you observing? What are you seeing? Are you so you just described it? You just described or warned others what Venus and Neptune on a shadowy side could actually look like.
Yes, and it's even more so now. It's coming out in force, and it's that online dating, it's that scam artists, it's that, it doesn't matter if it's female or male, it's the same thing. And it's what can I extract from this person? What words can I use to manipulate? And, I'm going to attract them by a happy home, the love of their life, money, whatever, but it's a trap and it's a lie. And then they invert it. Oh, you could help me, send me money, blah, blah, blah. And it's happening more so right now than I'm observing it. And it's a shadow. Yeah, you can't see, but you have psychic ability that you could actually see. If you use your intuition, you see it. But if you use that dystopia of I want this in my life, and I want this dream, and this is a bubble I'm going to create around me, and this is all I'm going to see, those are the ones that are being taken for a ride. Because they want to believe the lie more than they want to believe the truth.
Before I go to the next, hey, you got all that just off of the first little two words I put together. What else you think I got down here? But before I go to the next thing, you said something and this will end off this section. You said, man, I met a bunch of beautiful souls. Now here's my question to you. Could someone, because it's visionary beauty, could someone on the outside be a perfect 10, but their character make them a 2? And could somebody on the outside who's a 2, their character actually make them a 10?
Well, I once read a statement, and I keep coming back to this, and it was, I have lied, I have stolen, I have cheated, and I have killed, and I still consider myself a good person. Now, would you consider that person a good person?
Depends on what level. If I'm looking at, hey, I'm being you get me to jump in my Scorpio stuff. I was just talking about this. If somebody I could trust that person because they admitted to it. Now, that's my Scorpio energy. My Scorpio energy says, man, he admitted to it and all that, so you ain't got to wonder. But you ask me, does that make that person a good person?
Well, no, okay. Let me tell you where I read it.
All right.
Then it makes sense to you. It was in a Holocaust museum, and this person single-handedly saved 19 people. And she had to lie, she had to cheat, she had to steal, and she also killed to do so. So,
if I ain't got nothing to eat, so that would be equivalent to if I ain't got nothing to eat and all of that, and my family sitting at the house hungry, and I walk in the store and steal a ham. Was that wrong?
well, survive. And survival is, I mean, if there was nothing else available for you to do, I would not consider that an evil thing. The society that you lived in would be evil to allow you to get to that point. Just like, the Holocaust and the Nazism, that the society was poisoned.
Mm. Should I go to the negative or the positive first? I'm going to stay with the negative. I'm going to go with the negative because this recently came up. Now, Neptune could be delusional, right?
Yes.
And Venus can be flirtatious.
And cannot be.
Wait, delusional? Now, Venus is flirting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take these two and put them together. Delusional flirtations. What do you have?
Online dating.
I'll tell you the definition. When a person misinterprets or imagines romantic or flirtatious interest from another despite clear evidence to the contrary. Wishful thinking, lack of reciprocity, emotional vulnerability, ignoring boundaries is all signs of delusional flirtation. But I said, hey, this issue, we was just talking about this. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think delusional flirtations, do you think friends with benefits would fall in the bucket of delusional flirtations?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question because this issue just came up and somebody was in a friend with benefit relationship. They got feelings, but the other person didn't. Now, who's wrong in this situation? The person who got feelings or the person who didn't?
Well, I don't think anyone's wrong. I think there's choices that need to be made.
But wait, you don't feel somebody's wrong, but the other person is wants an apology from the other one. So they are thinking they were wrong.
Yeah, but that falls into the guidelines of the relationship and what it had been established at, and maybe their scale moved and the other person didn't, is their expectation wasn't true. And so they have to reevaluate where they're not looking through eyes of truth.
Oh, so, did they have wishful thinking of a more permanent relationship, and they used went under the disguise of delusional flirtations to get it?
If you're talking about a female is probably the one that moved on the scale, and the male is the one that didn't. Is this what we're talking about?
True, but yeah.
Okay.
But it could go both ways.
It can go both ways.
A man can fall in love.
Generally goes that way.
I mean, T-Pain got a song called "I'm in Love with a Stripper," so it could go both ways.
It can go both ways, but it generally goes that way. Okay, and the reason it does is because of the minds, the water and the earth. You know, woman emotion, trying to establish herself on an earthly plane, trying to establish, and the male mind and fire. And so this happens quite frequently. I'm sure of it. And the friends with benefits, and you're opening a portal and sharing that intimacy, and a lot of times that is part of the effeminate physiological makeup to bond to that image that she's focused on. So and if the establishment of the relationship was this, and it wasn't, he wasn't moving and she did move, there has to be a reevaluation. And like I said, I don't believe that anyone's wrong. It's just going to be painful.
And it's painful because lack of, one of the words I said down here, lack of reciprocity with emotions. Let's stay on the negative.
Okay. You're on a roll.
Here's another Neptune word. Chaos.
Okay.
And here's another Venus shadow word. Evasiveness. Now, if you put those two words together, what do you have? Chaotic evasiveness. What does that look like in relationships? Ooh.
That is saying one thing and meaning another.
Ooh.
That is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That is also your actions do not equate to your words.
Ooh, you on fire. Keep going.
That is, I lived with a man that was that way. He would say one thing with his mouth, but his actions, and I could feel his emotions. I'm an empath, and so for an empath, this is very difficult because some person is saying one thing to you, and you're feeling their vibration in a different dimension, in a different direction of their words. So they're telling you what they think you want to hear, but it's a lie.
Ooh. That came from, hey, by the way, didn't I say you spoken with somebody got Saturn in Pisces in the 7th house of relationships? That sounded like wisdom.
Experience.
Okay. Now,
Done the work on that one.
all right. Now, you ready for me to read you the words?
Sure.
That goes with chaotic evasiveness in relationships?
Okay.
Refers to a pattern of behavior where one partner consistently avoids addressing issues, deflects conversations, or creates confusion and unpredictability to evade emotional intimacy, responsibility, or conflict resolution. This behavior can manifest in various ways. Avoiding serious conversations, throwing mixed signals, creating drama. Oh, y'all all heard of this one. Number 4, gaslighting. And number 5,
Crazy making.
emotional unavailability. They might withdraw emotionally or physically, making it difficult for their partner to connect or resolve issues. This behavior can stem from fear of vulnerability, commitment issues, past trauma, or lack of emotional maturity. Over time, chaotic evasiveness can erode trust, create frustration, and lead to emotional disconnection in relationships. Addressing this pattern often requires open communication, setting boundaries, and in some cases, professional counseling to uncover and work through the root causes. This is in the air. North Node, hey, it's with this. Is it time?
Sounds like a landmine out there for relationships.
Okay, so if we think about our lives, we all come from around the same era. Did we have I said visionary beauty? Did our vision perceive relationships? They was telling us this is what a beautiful relationship looks like. But in all actuality, we've been living in a delusional fantasy world. And that's why relationships are fucked up in what they are today.
I lived in one of those. Did you? And I even participated in one of those. I mean, when you were talking about that, yeah, I was emotionally unavailable through hurts, through pain, in a relationship completely shut down. I mean, I think if we're honest that every one of us have gone through that, have lived any length of time. But right now, it's on steroids.
Well, I'm sorry if I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the energy.
Honestly.
I'm messing with that.
Every one of us.
You had to look in the mirror moment just now.
Of course, but it's part of that self. I can't point the finger at anyone, any place, anymore. The only finger that I can point at is myself, and I realize everything is in here. That and every relationship that I have is because I've allowed that relationship or allowed that energy, and now I no longer allow it, and I don't want the twistedness anymore. I don't want the dystopia anymore. I don't want to have that emotional unavailability or that brokenness. And so I've experienced that, but I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to. I've passed the course. I've moved on. And I think any relationship that we have or any experiences that we keep on going through the same experience over and over again, that these are lessons that we're learning. And if we pass the course, we move on. And then when some dysfunctional person shows up in your reality, I'll take a pass. I already passed the course. And if you found that with yourself, Paul, it's like you're probably much more choosier on the relationships, or waiting, or saying no, I'll take a pass to that. I see the energy here. I'm not interested in it because you're aware of it.
Well, Carrie, you asked me when I was lost. I was somewhere else. I was trying to keep my shadow side in check. Because my I got Saturn in Gemini.
Okay. You're always working on that communication.
Yeah, and something want to come out, but then something keep telling me don't say it, because it's a spiritual show. So I just think I need to.
This is a safe place for you.
It's a safe place for me?
Of course it is.
Well,
I think
well, okay, since it's a safe place for me, I mean, you need to watch the way you make comments talking about pointing fingers at yourself, fingering yourself. But we move on.
absolutely.
Talking about love and all. Gary, why you made me go there?
I didn't. You just picked up the breadcrumbs and went with it, man. I got no.
Well, I mean, you said, hey, we got to stop looking at people and all that. You got to point the finger at yourself. And so the rest of what you were saying, 'cause I was like, hey, there's a joke. She just set herself up for a joke. Should you say it? Should you not say it? And I was just thinking this whole time, it might be inappropriate. I mean, she is your elder. I mean,
Why didn't you go? What?
oh, hell, just go with it. I mean, shit, you are down there. You are down there in Mexico by yourself, looking on dating sites, It may come up, Never know. Anyway, I move on. Let's get more to the more positive side of this energy. Trying to figure out which one I want to go with first, because Neptune is also the mystic, and Neptune also is devotion. So I'm thinking about which one do I want to go with first, the mystical part or the devotional part? Let's go with the mystical. So Neptune is it's the mystic, right? It's the mysticism. And if you put mystic with Venus, which represents love, what does mystic love look like?
A love for the psychic, the psychic, the spiritual aspect of things. Looking into the love, I have a love for.
Let's stay in romantic relationships.
Are we romantic? Oh.
No, I'm talking about in terms of romantic relationships. Mystic love, what does that look like in terms of romantic relationships? Or
Well, it's just like me saying that, these beautiful people that I met here, I seen their soul. That's that in that beautiful creativity, the ability to tap into the spiritual connections, the seeing through the illusions of this reality and seeing the truth that and I just love meeting people and connecting with people like that. And on a romantic aspect of it, that would be like a perfect relationship, is finding someone that was connected into a spiritual dimension, into the psychic connections, and seeing through the illusions, and being able to be truthful, and to be able to journey, to have that male and female energy in tandem, because the fire and the air and the water and the earth, the complete connection.
mystic love refers to a profound, transcendent experience of love that goes beyond the ordinary physical or emotional dimensions of human relationships. It often described as a spiritual or a divine connection that transcends the self and merges with a higher reality, universal consciousness, or existence itself.
It's a perfect blending of the male and female
Would you like to know key characteristics of mystical love?
Oh, dude, hit me with it.
Transcendence. Mystical love surpasses the boundaries of ego and individual identity, creating a sense of unity with the beloved, the universe, or the divine.
Unstoppable.
Number 2, until today, I didn't think this exists, but now I know it exists, and I've been living it all my life. The problem is, I had it wrong. Men know this, women don't. And it's unconditional love. It often described as a pure, selfless love that is not dependent on the external conditions or personal growth. Now, you may be saying, what does he mean by why? What does he mean by he has been living this and he had a reverse? Women talk about unconditional love, and they don't know but they don't know unconditional love.
Will have a man be in a relationship. Watch this video and let me know what you think.
And a man is in a relationship for love. If you're in a real, what is he in a relationship for?
You tell us that. That's a good question. What do you think men is in relationship?
Love.
No.
What else?
Hell no.
What am I getting besides somebody saying they love me?
Talk to him.
So you think men is,
What am I here for if all I'm getting is what you're saying you're giving me?
which is the love?
What am I getting? So what am I here for? You name it.
It gotta be love because there's nothing else that's coming.
Thank you.
That's out the muscle.
I don't believe that though.
That's the fucked up part
Yeah,
about it.
I don't believe that.
That's the fucked up part about it. What the fuck else am I getting?
Like for real.
That's a fact, but I don't believe that. But that is a fact.
That's the part about being delusional as a woman.
Yeah, you're right. Because you're not really getting nothing else. And if a man is really there, it's gotta be because he loves you.
Thank you.
Because he don't gotta be there.
That's why I say men love unconditionally, women love conditionally. That's the truth. Like, at the end of the day, I ain't getting shit else.
Damn. Do you feel like that's what it is for men in general?
But a man dealing with a woman that you feel like, baby, you ain't gotta do nothing. I do this because I love you. Nothing else. What else? Why am I doing that? Why? You're just not lucky, bitch. I love you.
Right. So it's come down to love them.
What else?
What other reason?
We love unconditionally. Women bring up conditions of why they're not happy and to leave relationships. So I've been unconditionally out here loving this whole damn time, and I've been speaking against it. I've been saying I don't believe in unconditional this whole time, and I do it. Golly, ain't that something?
But you have male and female energy in you. Both.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, I do. I do have.
Scorpio in you. That's female.
Yeah. Well, my two lights. The two lights are in feminine energy, which would be Virgo, Scorpio. But I do. I have my two masculine planets, Mars, Saturn, in masculine masculine energy. And I got 3 planets. Jupiter is also a masculine planet, and it's in masculine sign.
Your sun is masculine.
Yeah, but it's in a feminine sign.
Oh, okay.
So Virgo and Scorpio kind of knocks the rough edges off of me. If I didn't have that, I may be a little more rougher, like sandpaper.
You would be analyzing everything. Get down under. Underbelly Scorpio.
Yeah. Number 3 would be ecstatic and infallible. The experience of mystical love is often accompanied by intense joy, bliss, or ecstasy, and it can be difficult to fully articulate in words. Number 4 characteristic of mystical love is a spiritual union. It involves a deep sense of connection or oneness with the beloved, whether that is a person, God, nature, or the cosmos. And number 5 characteristic of mystical love. Mystical love has the power to transform the individual, leading to growth, enlightenment, or a deeper understanding of life and existence. Now, they're talking about spiritual union and all that stuff. Everybody, none of y'all gonna have this shit because we got so much walls built up. It talked about openness. How the fuck you gonna be connect with somebody and have some oneness with all the defense mechanisms?
Are we pointing at you?
I know I'm pointing at everybody out here, whoever listened to me.
They were right there.
they say a hit dog will holler. You know, okay. How do you think people embrace growth and transcendence and change? No, that wasn't the question. I said, do you think people?
Not necessarily. Not everyone.
All right, Carrie. If we went out there and start grabbing 10 random people, just off the street, start grabbing 10 random people. Out those 10, each group of 10, how many do you think embrace growth and change and enlightenment?
So the demographics. Okay, like here I could grab 10 and I'd probably get a higher number.
All right.
Oh, and like Sedona, you'd get a higher number. But if you went down to like probably, let's say, Las Vegas, you'd get a very low number.
So, put it all together. What would be your number?
Well, I'm hoping for 51% because then that would change the world.
Okay, are you being delusional flirtations? Is that wishful thinking? Would that be lack of if we went out there looking for 51%, do you think you may receive lack of reciprocity?
I'm hoping. I'm not delusional, but I'm hoping.
Okay. Now what's the real number, do you think?
Probably 10%. If we're lucky.
So that means 90% of the time that we dealing with somebody, if you somebody who's trying to grow and understand and transcend and all that, 9 times out of 10, I would agree with you too, your number. If we want to be generous, let's go 20%. 2 times out of 10, huh?
We compromise 15.
So, but what would be a half a person? I have an answer, but my answer might not be politically correct. So,
Okay.
oh, they do have political. Would that be a small person? Little people?
Some people are just small inside.
Well, that could be the half.
They'd be stunted inside. He might be tall, but he's stunted.
So that means that if you out here and you 8 out of the 10 people you talk to ain't on a growth and change journey.
Possible, but when I'm working, you got the demographics. You also have the people that are born with certain kind of. You got the younger generation, which is more spiritual. The older generation, my generation, is less. They are more into the form of programmed. I think the newer generation that's coming up is coming out of the programs. And so it depends on what group of people, because I think the younger crowd is trying to work on themselves a lot more than the older generation. At least what I've experienced talking to thousands of people in my shows, because I see the younger people coming and trying to be more open and trying to tell their truths and trying to connect.
You know, mystical love is often seen as a path to spiritual awakening or enlightenment. You think a lot of people trying to take that path of taking the path of spiritual awakening and enlightenment?
I see the younger people trying, or I see, but I sell rocks, and I sell, rocks, gems, talismans. So the people that are attracted to my table are probably more on a spiritual journey.
So basically, by you doing your show, your art shows and all of that, what you do, you actually are a form of a lighthouse.
Funny you say that.
Why is that?
My pint is the most brightest one on the. I have lights when I have a light show. I have lights everywhere. Yeah.
Well, what's the purpose of a lighthouse?
For people to see their way in the darkness, and not to be caught in the quagmire of the rocks and the tragedies that are there.
So would you say people like me and you, we come across, me and you come across, the number for me and you would be more like 50%?
Possibly. If you're in a place that is drawing that, like if you go to the holistic fairs, you're seeing a higher percentage. You go to the Renaissance fair, you're seeing a higher percentage. You go to the fairs, like the carnival fair, county fair.
But Carrie, I walk down the street wearing my flag everywhere I go.
And you get people coming up to you all the time talking about it, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel sitting up there trying to figure out which toilet paper to get, and somebody asks you, hey, what do you know about Sagittarius? Which brand is more sulfur on the bum bum? You answer that question, I answer your question. No, but in all actuality, I don't trip if somebody on the street asks me a astrology question. I actually enjoy it.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing a flag. I'm wearing a rock, generally speaking.
I got you. And I also, this is the other thing that goes through my mind. That person who actually does say something to me, there's usually 3 other people that didn't have the nerve to come up and ask me something and say something to me. So what they'll do is they'll Google my name, Google the name or whatever. They ain't have the courage to say, hey, what's up with this astrology? Or they ain't have the courage to let others see them talking to me.
Yeah. They have open mic here. And what I was going to do is I was going to go up on the open mic, and this would be the first time that I've done this, is do the birthday game with the open mic. And but I think that trying it here would be a really good way to do it before I open mic other places. I think astrology, people don't think it works, and then when you start to call them out and you start to tell them about themselves, it kind of freaks them out, and then it kind of opens up the ability for them to see, because most people know their strengths and their weaknesses. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. And when you talk to them in astrology and you tell them about themselves and you just met them, you don't know anything about them besides their birth date and their sign, then then they become we are the light. We are the ones showing, that this is the truth in our reality. And so you sitting there at the toilet, toilet paper roll, roll, and you're looking for toilet paper, and somebody comes up and asks you a question, and you answer it, and you give them solid truth about themselves. That opens their psychic up to see clearer, and to have more of a pathway to travel or to look at, because they're like, wow, that made sense. Let me go check my sign. Let me read some more, because I want to know more about what know thyself. And you are the light on the on the hill. You are everyone that's here in this room. We are that. We are that. We have that insight, because the stars do not lie. They're not the news. They're not the local media. What they are is truth, and their movement is true. And so when we are able to decipher that truth, we have a lot more truth of our reality to go
on. Speaking of truth, and when we have our truth, when we have our truth, we may be able to move on to this last one.
Okay.
I did use two words, another word with Neptune. Remember when I said devotion?
Spirituality, yes, devotion, absolutely.
And then I used another word, attractiveness.
When you use the word devotion, and it can be a two-edged sword.
That it could.
And, I only go from my own experience when I was in the occult or in a cult, religious, that we're right and we're the only one that's right and we have the truth and nobody else does. Run. But anyway, you ever find yourself in that situation. I was very devoted. But my devotion was misplaced devotion. And devotion is a good thing to have. You could be in a relationship and you could have misguided devotion to that relationship too, because that relationship could be very abusive. And again, I went through that myself.
Carrie, this is supposed to be the positive part.
But it is yin and
I was saving this for the positive part. Nah, I was like, damn, well, maybe I should have put this with the negative part.
A little confusing, isn't it?
Well, it did come. Well, I guess maybe because when I was looking at it and all, I was like, damn, this really seems nice. I've never had this.
Huh.
And now you're talking about it negative, and I'm like, well, damn, am I wrong for maybe wanting this?
No, because when devotion is placed in the right direction, in the right place, it can be absolutely phenomenal. And that's where you have to be very, once you know yourself and you know who you are and you know what you are and you are able to know what you want, and then you're able to devote yourself to that or to that relationship, because you've already cut through all the crap, and so it can be the most beautiful thing, or it can be the most horrifying thing, but it has to be connected in the right way. And when devotion is connected in the right way, it is absolutely beautiful.
Devotion, attractiveness. Someone's deep commitment, loyalty, and dedication, particularly in the context of relationships. It is the quality of being devoted, showing unwavering support, care, faithfulness, that makes a person more attractive to others, both romantically and platonically. The concept highlights how genuine devotion can foster trust, emotional intimacy, into you I see, and a sense of security, which are highly valued in relationships. Now, people may struggle with intimacy because I just said, into you I see. Why would you want me to see into you if you don't like looking into your own self? Hey, I don't like what I see in myself, so don't you look inside me. Don't you get intimate with me because I don't want you to see it.
Are you familiar with the Johari window?
No.
A guy named Joe and a guy named Harry got together and made this. It's a really good psychic evaluation, and consider it like a 4-pane window. Okay, the first window pane is clear. I see you, you see me. It's clear. It's clarity. You know that I'm wearing a dress that has leopard skin, or I have earrings, or it's very obvious. We're seeing it. Both of us know. It's a clear pane. Okay. The second one is I see out of that nobody sees into. And so it's a one-way mirror, but it's only me. And the only way that I'm able to tell you what's inside me or what my perceptions of reality is to speak it out. The next one is where you see me, but it's a blind spot to me. And that's where I see into you, intimacy. And I may be unaware of how I'm presenting myself, or unaware that I have something stuck between my teeth, or I have a dot on the, something attached to my face. I don't see it because it's not within my peripheral vision or within.
If you had something stuck to your teeth, would you want someone to tell you?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't get.
No, I'd give you a hug and thank you.
Well,
Even seeing something in my soul that I don't see, because truth is I want that perfection, and sometimes in a relationship it's that perfection that you're looking for, because there's some things that you're unaware of, and that the person that's with you is able to see that in you and to call it out, and when it's called out, you're able to deal with it.
When it's called, well, yeah, but some people run when it's called escape. Remember, we were talking about evasive.
That with levels of maturity.
Yeah.
And if you're mature enough to accept, criticism, constructive criticism, not destructive.
Woo! Hey, that could be a trigger word to some people. Constructive criticism. Woo! People struggle with that. We have some people.
Building them, helping them fortify themselves, and not to destroy them or destruct. I've seen it. Oh, this is for your good. You're nothing. I've seen a lot of dystopia relationships, or I've experienced in my own reality, and I've counseled people as being a crisis counselor, so I have seen a lot. But then that last part of that window, and the Johari window, is the dark window, and no one can see it, and you can't see out of it. It can't be seen in. Someone have cancer in their body, you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. But what we want is that window to be the smallest, and to diminish that window. We want complete clarity. We want the biggest window to be clear.
Well, some people need Windex.
We all need Windex.
Cut out them window panes.
We're all a work in
progress. Hey. 6 key aspects to devotional attractiveness. Emotional security. A devoted person provides a sense of stability and reliability, which can be incredibly attractive. Knowing that someone is consistently there for you creates a safe emotional space. Loyalty. Devotion often implies loyalty, which is a highly desirable trait in relationships It reassures the other person that they are valued and prioritized. Selflessness. Devoted individuals often put the needs of well-being of their loved ones before their own, which can be deeply appealing. This selflessness fosters a sense of being cherished and cared for. Depth.
It also can be codependency.
Yeah. Depth. What are we talking about? The positive side of this. This would be. Now think about it. I talked about a mystical love, and now we're talking about devotional love. So we're going up. So are we talking about two people? This would be something, two healthy souls. This is what a relationship of two healthy souls.
Well, you think about loyalty. It's like when you get to be older. Thank you. You get to be older, and what if someone has health issues? What if someone goes through some difficulty times? It's like helping that person. Sometimes one person is stronger, and they give their strength to that person. That's loyalty, and then it works its way out. And I think that's the beauty of a relationship is when you're strong, and you're able to see, and you're able to, have the emotional fortitude and strength to carry through some hard times, and then also enjoy the good times. And that comes through the dedication, that comes through loyalty, that comes through that kind of connection.
Carrie, could wanting someone to be by your side when you die, could that actually be selfish?
Run that through me again.
Wanting your lover to be by your side when you die, could that actually be selfish?
That's a really hard thing to. I'm not sure. I cannot answer that.
The reason I'm asking is because, hey, I want you to be by my side when I go, but when you go, when you go, I'm left here picking up the pieces. And gotta feel the emotions. You ain't here to feel the emotions of your lover gone. I got to do that.
Well, you also have the memory, because everything here is fleeting on this plane of existence. And so accepting the good and the bad, and also being able to enjoy the moments.
All right, Carrie. Scorpio moon to Scorpio sun. Do you think we want to go first before our lovers, or we want to sit there and watch our lover go first?
Well, we're fixers.
We going first because we can't let go. We got to learn how to let go. So it might be easier for them to let go of us than us to let go of them.
I can tell you my own experience in this. My mother was dying, and my mom was a Leo.
I want you to know I'm joking, but I'm not.
No. My mother was. She was at a nursing home, and I could actually feel her spirit pull away from the earth. I mean, I could feel it, and I knew it was happening. And I went to my sister's house, and she was on the phone, and I yelled at her because I'm very quiet. I said, get off the phone now. We have to go. We have to go now. It was that urgency in me. And we get in the car, and we're driving to the nursing home. And when I got to the nursing home, I was trying frantically to get into the building, but it was locked. And I tried every door to get in. And finally, I got to the front door. I went back to the front door, and I was bang, bang, bang on the door. There was this little old lady in a wheelchair, and she was like wheeling up like real slow, like molasses. I mean, it was just like, oh my God. She finally got to the door, opened the door. I went barreling into this into this nursing home, and I'm running down this corridor. I mean, I'm literally like, it's a dark corridor. There's rooms, people are sleeping, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm running through these corridors, and I see this male nurse with his back turned to me, and he's behind a desk, and he's pushing buttons. And I get there at the counter, and I'm standing there at the counter, and my phone rings in my pocket, and I pick it up, and it's that nurse. And he says, "Carrie." And I said, "I'm standing right behind you." And he put down the phone, and he turned to me, and he said, "Your mother just passed away." See, my mom was dying. I could feel her dying. I could feel it's like a planet being pulled out of orbit. That's what it felt like. But my mom would not allow me into the building until she pulled away, until she had died. And I mean,
Why do you think she wouldn't allow you into the building?
because I think that she chose to go alone. She didn't want us to watch her die.
Or would you have been in there? Would you have been in there saying, "No, hold on, don't go yet"?
No, at that point in time, Paul, I would have let her go because part of her body was dying. It was dying. She was dying. I mean, she was 90, almost 91, and but her soul was that powerful to where she could choose how she wanted to go, and she didn't want her family around her. She chose to go out alone.
Like a soldier.
And I couldn't even get into the building if I tried. And I was trying frantically to get into the building, and I could not get in until she pulled away. And then I was allowed into the building. Now, we have a lot of control over this. We may not think so at the time, but when you're on your deathbed, you have that kind of control because I witnessed it. And, me, I would probably, as a Scorpio, go off and climb underneath a rock and die and not want anyone around me because I wouldn't want to put my children or anybody. I'm like, "Oh, let me go, please, man." When I'm gone.
I don't want you to see me like this.
No.
I was going to skip over this one, because this is one of the negatives. But since I just run through it real quick because, Neptune could be sentimental. Venus can be sentimental, but Neptune could be fear. So if you put those two words together, what do you have?
Then throw the moon in there too.
Huh? Sentimental fear. Sentimental fear.
Well, okay. That's like.
I'm about to tell you. No, it's an emotional state where someone feels anxious, uneasy, or fearful about losing or damaging something or someone they deeply cherish due to its sentimental value. This type of fear is often tied to memories, emotions. Huh?
Obsessive compulsive. They're obsessing and compulsive to, and fear-based, fear of losing and trying to hold on.
Yeah.
We find that a lot. Attachments.
I was about to use that word. I'm about to use that word. Fear is often. I'm gonna tell you.
Go ahead.
Fear is often tied to memories, emotions, or attachments rather than the practical or material worth of the object or relationship. It arises from emotional significance we assign to certain people, possessions, or experiences, making the thought of losing them deeply distressful. There's keys to sentimental fear. Attachment to the past, fear of loss, emotional nostalgia, irrationality, preservation. Wait, how you say that word? Preservation. Preservation instinct. It often drives people to protect, preserve, and hold on to things or relationships, even if they no longer practical or healthy. You could have sentimental fear connected to objects, relationships, places, and traditions. Sentimental fear occurs when you have emotional anchors, fear of change, and this is something that a lot of people have been talking about lately. Attachment styles. People with anxious or insecure attachment styles may be more prone to sentimental fear as they struggle with letting go or facing loss. Ways of coping with sentimental fear: acknowledge the emotions, focus on the present, which you talked about being present, create new memories, learn how to let go gradually, and seek support.
Hang on. I'm going to be going pretty soon because my back.
Oh, all right. Well, since you're gonna go pretty soon, let's cover the last one, because I said all of this has to do with the North Node too, right? So, what is the North Node about? Soul growth. So, what would a soul growth mystical love look like? Soul growth mystical love. It's a profound and transformative experience of love that transcends the ordinary and serves as a catalyst for spiritual and personal evolution. It's a love that not only deepens the connection between individuals, but also elevates the consciousness, helping them grow on a soul level. This type of love is often described as mystical because it involves a sense of unity, transcendence, and connection to something greater than oneself, whether it is divine or the universe. Characteristics of a soul growth mystical love would be deep spiritual connection, transformative power, but think about who people don't want to transform. Soul growth mystical love has the power to transform individuals, helping them heal old wounds, release limiting beliefs, and evolve into their higher selves. Number 3, unconditional and selflessness. Number 4, the soul growth mystical love helps transcendence of the ego. It's sacred. And lastly, soul growth mystical love is guided by a higher purpose. A soul growth mystical love often feels divinely guided, as it is part of a larger spiritual journey or purpose. So, could I say, if you haven't started or began your spiritual journey, you don't even know what a spiritual journey is, ain't no way in the hell you're going to find a soul growth mystical love. You might fall into it. Oh, you might have that now, but not, you know what I'm saying? How will one of these relationships facilitate soul growth? Carrie, if you still here, this is something you brought up.
I'm here.
This is something you brought up. One thing that facilitates mirror of the soul. The beloved acts as a mirror, reflecting back both the light and shadow of the self. This reflection helps individuals become more aware and work on their personal growth. You brought that up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. I said you brought that up when you talked about you brought that up when you talked about relationship, the relationship that kind of mirrors the soul. It provides a mirror reflecting back to you light and shadow. You had brought that up. Now, number two, it facilitates, it helps as it's a catalyst for healing. The deep connection and unconditional nature of this love creates a safe space for healing old wounds and traumas. Number three, expansion of consciousness. The experience of unity and transcendence expands one's consciousness, leading to greater understanding and wisdom. Number four, alignment with higher self. This love helps individuals align with the higher selves and live in accordance to their soul's purpose. And number five, deepening of compassion and empathy. The selfless nature of this love fosters a deep sense of compassion and empathy, not just for the beloved, but for all beings. Ways to cultivate soul growth, mystical love. There's inner work, which is engaging in practices that promote self-awareness, healing and spiritual growth, such as meditation, journaling, or take your ass to therapy. Open heart, an open heart. Cultivate an open heart by practicing love, compassion, and forgiveness in your daily life. Do you walk these streets showing love to people? Or are you a curmudgeon as you walk the streets? Sacred connections. Approach relationships with a sense of reverence and sacredness, seeing them as an opportunity for mutual growth and evolution. In relationships, when you're dealing with the other person, are you looking for the I am, the God inside of them? The God or goddess inside of them? Are you trying to connect with the God or goddess inside of them? Or are you connecting to their persona on a spiritual plane? Number four, what it takes, divine guidance. Seek guidance from spiritual practices, teachings, and mentors that resonate with your soul's journey. Number five, let go of ego. Work on releasing ego-driven desires and attachments, allowing love to flow freely and unconditionally. Soul growth, mystical love. Do y'all think this is common? A soul growth mystical love is a rare and beautiful experience that has the power to transform individuals and elevate their consciousness. It is a love that not only connects two souls, but also serves as a bridge to the divine, leading to profound spiritual growth and enlightenment. Who's ready for this type of relationship? Have you prepared to do the work? Have you done the work? Do you think you can handle this type of relationship? Or Neptune, Venus, shadow, are you being delusional? Or is that wishful thinking? Does this type of relationship even exist? You know, as I read and did all of this and all that, I was leaning toward the devotional attractiveness type of relationship. But I also like this soul growth, mystical love type relationship. But Carrie made me aware that I gotta watch out for the devotional attractiveness type of relationship, because hopefully it's not toxic devotion. We both on a healthy plane, and it's positive devotion. The type of positive devotion that could lead, snowball into the soul growth mystical love. The shit that's rare. One of a kind. You know how they do that? This is 1 of 10. 1 of 10, So, yeah. What is your definition of love? And was any of this in your definition of love? And do you attract any of this, Venus? Is your soul North Node? Is your soul being guided toward wanting one of these type of relationships? Or did what I just say and all what Carrie just said, did that have you ready to run for the hills? I ain't trying to open myself up like that. I ain't trying to be open like that. Or are you trying to stay closed and all of that and not move forward? It's a personal choice. Nothing's right or wrong. It's all up to you. And I think we may have painted a good picture of this energy, Carrie. If people don't have the thought of Venus, Neptune, North Node, in Pisces, if you ain't got it now, you probably ain't never gonna understand it. So with that being said, I thank y'all. You know I end this. Know thyself, balance your energy.
Started off with questions, and then it's number 2. Things on my mind, why this, why that, what should we do? The questions that the searching, she's diving into seeking. Go fossil ass leaking, these niggas get to tweaking. You don't be get to preaching, you don't be telling me that my fate is in the stars, you read my energy. You got the recipe to get the ecstasy. I'm shifting gears on the things that you must believe. Now people don't see. They saw some fish some seed. It's from the start, that's why you trap, you stuck, you cannot leave. You best be on your knees, confess your sins of move. Don't have no question, have the face, you trust, you know the truth. You think it can't be slanted, you think it just be granted. It's warfare, the bonds explode, collateral damage. I manage to maintain, to explain. We here to evolve, but ain't a damn